person, you might have many enemies, right? But there's one person you do not want to be your arch enemy. That's who? That's the Most High. Okay? The Most High is your enemy, you got heavy issues. Okay? That's pressure. Okay? So you don't want the Most High to be your enemy. Okay? So a lot of us, we talk about this Exodus, we talk about being redeemed from America, but our minds are spiritually still here in America. What do you think is holding us back from being redeemed? You don't think Yahweh Shai is pacing back and forth? The holy angels, they're practicing formation every day. How are they going to come destroy America? You don't think they're waiting to come back? So what's really holding us back from being redeemed? From America being destroyed? Our own people. Okay, our own people. I was watching a video with Pharaoh. He was going into showing the conspiracy of how the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan had to do with the killing of Malcolm X. Okay, because the white man knows that they can infiltrate us through money, jealousy, anything they can infiltrate. They have having a bad mentality, that black on black crime mentality. Our DNA, we don't know. Psychologically, our minds are messed up. But how can we get healed? By the understanding of this Bible. Okay, this Bible, okay, gives you understanding. The Most High said what? His thoughts are what? His thoughts are not our thoughts. So how do Most High? Well, with this young man, this cleans way. Okay. That finish reading.
Do we think that the scripture saith in vain, dwelleth in us, that the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? Mm-hmm. But he giveth more grace. Wherefore saith the Most High, resisteth the proud.
Come on.
But giveth grace unto the humble.
Right. So the Most High gives grace to what? To the humble. Right? All through the scripture, you see that the Most High dealt with men and women of humility. It's not always like you are lying, rah, rah, rah. Okay, you want to have the last word. Okay? It's about giving heed to the way of the Most High. Why am I shaking out with y'all? Come on.
Verse 7.
Read.
Submit yourselves therefore to the Most High.
Do what?
Submit yourselves therefore to the Most High.
Right, so it says submit yourselves. A lot of times we have a problem, okay, when we hear this Bible, okay? But we got to submit ourselves to the ways of this book. Okay, these are not our words. These are the words of the Almighty. Right, read that again.
The book of James, chapter 4, verse 7.
Come on.
Submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High.
Come on.
Resist the devil.
Do what?
Resist the devil.
Do what?
Resist the devil.
Right, so how do we resist the devil? How do we do that? Not giving it temptation. But before that, right? Sisters? A lot of times, things come in form of emotions, feelings. Because we just said that what? That our thoughts are not what? The Most High's thoughts.
From you.
And he will what?
And he will flee from you.
Come on.
Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you.
Right, so it says draw nigh to the Most High. Okay, again, going back to what? To his word. Okay, so the Most High said, when he said he come in what? In the volume of the book. From Genesis all the way to Revelation. He said they come in the volume of the book. Come on.
Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Mm-hmm. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning.
So now our affliction, Okay, our affliction makes us who we are today. The things we go through in life, at the time we don't see it because we go through things like, oh man, like, I'm jacked up or I'm feeling this way. I'm going through these certain situations, but ultimately, what you get to a point that you pass if you surpass that situation, okay, with the help of the Most High, okay, then you say, wow, you look back at that and say, wow, I can't believe I made it through that situation. But I don't care how many times we go through a certain situation, we always worry when we get to another issue. We know the Most High he brought you through something more severe, but now something else comes, we start worrying again. Right? Is there anything that's impossible with the Most High? Right? There's nothing too impossible for the Most High. So we gotta put our trust in Him at all times. Okay, and we gotta think not to pray in times of need or in trouble, but at all times, because sometimes we can spare ourselves from getting to a certain situation. So we gotta keep that in mind. Come on.
Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High.
Do what?
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High.
Right.
And He shall lift you up.
And He shall what?
And He shall lift you up.
Right. So the Most High is going to lift you up. Okay. The Most High is going to lift you up. Come on.
Speak not evil one of another.
Read that again.
Speak not evil one of another.
Right. So that's that's prevalent amongst our people. Okay. We do this. Again, this goes back to post traumatic slavery disorder that we are against each other. Okay, some of us wish evil on each other. Some get happy, just like I was watching the video with Monique, when the time where Steve Harvey, when she looked for Steve Harvey's support, right? They all turned their back on her, right? But then now, when Steve Harvey ended up losing 3 jobs in 1 week, everybody, oh, Monique, you see the payback, karma. So she got on there right away. She's like, listen, I'm not here to rejoice at my brother's demise. Okay, so this is a time that we pray for each other in a situation like that. Okay, so we're quick to look to have joy in another person's downfall. But is that Christ-like? Okay. So we got to understand, again, that we are the ones that's holding ourselves back in captivity. Like the brother Matatawa, he just sent me a video. He's in Zion for the Feast of Weeks. I was like, man, he's rubbing it in. I want to be there. And, I wish for that day that I don't have to think about or, got to travel back and forth, that we are in that land. Okay, at all times. There shouldn't be that we got to go visit. Okay, or we got to think about getting harassed, going through customs. Okay, that we don't have to think about the condition. Like a lot of people watch that movie, it's a series they had, If They Can See Us Now. It's on Netflix. What's the name of it? When They See Us, right? So I was in New York at the time when this whole thing transpired, but I didn't really see the severity of it as now, as being an adult. I mean, that was heavy. You got 14, 15, 16-year-old young men, okay, that were forced to admit they did a crime that they didn't do. Okay, one of these young men, I think he got raped at least 4 or 5 times. Because they threw him straight in Rikers Island. And I mean, a lot of you, they made songs about Rikers Island. Have you ever been to Rikers Island? That's not a walk in the park. Okay. So, okay. And then Donald Trump had the nerve to come out $80. Right. Right. So I mean, this is what we're dealing with, and I mean, you know, like I was looking. What do you expect? It's the house. You know, you looking for any other? You looking for any righteous judgment, anything to come out of that place? So all the president, all the way down, all these people are put in place to do what? To keep our race down. Right, a den of thieves. Okay, so is the rulers, so are the people that's up under it. They're senators, they're governors. Okay, I was there's a sister, her name is Yvette Clark. She holds some office in New York, but she passed some law, the LGBT, like they're getting a lot of our people, you know, on this LGBTQ, whatever. I mean, by the time this thing comes out, they're gonna be done use all the alphabets. Now they're adding pedophile. They had some wedding the other day. You had like grown men, like 60s old, like married a 10-year-old girl, something like that. Okay, so this is what we're seeing. America actually has surpassed Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah has nothing on America. Okay, Babylon. Okay, Egypt. America's like a Tootsie Roll. He's like, all these kingdoms are mixed up into America. Okay, America is spiritually known as Egypt, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. Why? Because America takes on all these customs. Okay, so we got to continue to pray that the Most High continues to cut this time short. And you can see we're in what, June. This year is done. Okay, the year is done. Okay, so the so-called Black History Month, the USA Today, they came out with that magazine. Could you pull it up for me? I don't know did I show everybody? I think I showed it in Thursday class. I didn't show it here. Did we show it in this class, in the Shabbat? What, the USA? We showed it on the Shabbat? Okay. So the comparison of the 400 years here in America is the same comparison as the 400 years in ancient Egypt, showing that they know that we are the children of Israel. Okay? We're the only ones that don't know. Okay? The children of Israel, we don't know who we are. The other nations know who we are. So we got to wake our minds up, continue to enlighten those others of our people that are in darkness. Let them know who they are. You know, tell them to come back to the Lord and say the commandments of the Most High. Whenever one of us come back to the Most High, repents, what does that do? What does that do? That cuts the time short here in America. You got to read.
The book of Mark, chapter 1, verse 15.
Come on.
And saying, the time is fulfilled.
The time is what?
The time is fulfilled.
Come on.
And the kingdom of the Most High is at hand.
And kingdom is what?
And the kingdom of the Most High is at hand.
Why? So the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. The acceptable year of a Mashiach Yahushua. Right? He's saying the third day is going to rise us up. We're in that third day. So literally any time now we can be redeemed. All right. So let's start the Torah portion. Numbers 4 and 21. So let's continue to make our election sure. Come.
The book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 21.
Come on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, take also the sum of the son of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers by their families. From 30 years old and upward unto 50 years old shall thou number them, all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation.
So the priesthood starts at what year? At 30 years old. Okay, 30 to 50. So that's when you enter in the priesthood at the age of 30, and then you serve 20 years. Okay, come on.
From 30 years old and upward unto 50 years old shall thou number them, all that enter in to perform to the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the service of the families of Gershon, of the Gershonites, to serve and for burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation, his covering, and the covering of the badger skins that is above upon it, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right. So the Most High, he's very intricate. He's precise. You know, not all Levites had the same job. Okay, so certain Levites handled this in the tabernacle or the ministry, and some did other other things pertaining to the priesthood. Come on.
Verse 26. And the hangings of the court, and the hangings of the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of Gershonites, and all their burdens, and all their service, and he shall appoint unto them in the charge all the burdens.
Right. So Aaron and his sons, they were like the supervisors. They were the chief priests. They overran everything that went down. Okay, come on.
This is the service of the families of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation. Their charge shall be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. As the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, shall thou number them. Everyone that entereth into the service to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right. Gershon. Okay, amongst Israel. Come on.
From 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And this is the charge of their burden, according to all this thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by the name you shall reckon the instruments of the charge of the burden. This is the service of the family of Merari, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest.
Right, so all these, it may seem minute, it may seem small, but all these things had to be looked after. Okay, just like we mop the sweeping, take care of the altar, things have to be done. And it is more than just for one person to do. Right, so you had different people, different positions, and they took care of different things in the congregation. All right, come on.
And Moses and Aaron, the chief of the congregation, numbered the sons of the Kohathites after their families and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service of the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. And those that were numbered of them by their families were 2,750. These were they that were numbered of the families of the Kohathites.
Yeah, that's a lot of Levites, right? Come on.
All that may do the service in the tabernacle of the congregation, which Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Most High by the hand of Moses. And those that were numbered of the sons of Gershon throughout their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them throughout their families by the house of their fathers were 2,630. These are they that were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all that might do the service in the tabernacle of the congregation, whom Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Most High. And those that were numbered of the families of Merari, throughout their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service for the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. even those that were numbered of them, after their families were 3,200. These be those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the word of the Most High by the hand of Moses. All those that were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the chief of Israel numbered after their families, and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that came to do the service of the ministry, and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them were 8,540. According to the commandment of the Most High, they were numbered by the hand of Moses, everyone according to his service, and according to his burden. Thus they were numbered of them, has the Most High commanded Moses.
Right, so everything the Most High commanded Moses, Aaron, they in turn, they gave it to Israel. Okay, so as we read about the Levites, okay, it's not only we dealt with the ministry, but all things like legal, okay, different matters between Israel, okay, medical issues we dealt with. Just like in today's society, Esau has everything broken up into different departments. You don't just find one department dealing with everything. Okay, you got the Supreme Court, you got the small claims court, state court, you got different court, you got different entities within their government. But in time past, the Levites dealt with all that. Okay, so it was a heavy job that was laid upon the tribe of Levi, okay, amongst the nation of Israel. All right, chapter 5.
The book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leper, and everyone that hath an issue, and whosoever is defiled by the dead. Both male and female shall ye put out. Without the camp shall ye put them, that they defile not their camps.
So what's the definition of a leper? Huh? I didn't hear you. Skin disease. Give me hold on. Give me Leviticus 13 and 1.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13, verse 1.
Come on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy.
Plague of what?
Of leprosy.
Come on.
Then he should be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in the sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean.
Right, so that's the definition of a leprosy. Okay, so it's up to the priest to pronounce him unclean and put him out of the camp, because if not, what is it going to do? It's going to make the whole camp unclean. All right, so this is one of the jobs of the priest to determine if someone was clean, and then how long they had to put it. It said how many days had to be put out the camp? Okay. Right, so it says he shut up the plague 7 days. Okay, read 5.
Verse 5. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more.
Right. So it's the job of the priest. If he comes and inspects him and he still has his leprosy, okay, then he got 7 more days. He got to be unclean. He got to be set apart. All right. So this is the laws that the Most High gave the nation of Israel. Okay. Sometimes you go to these hospitals. They have like different section of a hospital. Like it, or they isolate you. Okay, they don't want this thing to spread amongst other people. So that's
the book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 3. He put them in their camps in the midst wherefore I dwell. And the children of Israel did so, and put them out without the camp, as the Most High spake unto Moses. So did the children of Israel.
Come on.
Of Israel. When a man or woman shall commit any sin that men commit, then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall recompense his trespass. With the
fifth part is 20%. So you give back the original and 20% on top of that. You know, whatever the offense was, you give it back to the individual. Okay, come on.
But if the man have no kinsman to recompense the trespass unto, let the trespass be recompensed unto the Most High, even to the priest, beside the ram of the atonement, whereby an atonement shall be made for him.
Right. So if you can't give it to that person, or they have any kinfolk, then you do what? You bring it to the priest. Come on.
And every offering of all the holy things of the children of Israel, which they bring, and every man's hollow thing shall be his. Whatsoever any man giveth the priest, it shall be his. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, if any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close with the manner, spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous.
If possibly you went and lay with another man. Okay, so the man he has not seen her do it, but he just had a spirit of jealousy. Okay, so now we're seeing jealousy mentioned here in the scriptures, but we see what a righteous jealousy with a man. Okay, is not on both sides. Okay, so now there's a procedure that we're gonna read about. Okay, that we're gonna find out that how this can be. Okay, that this can come forth. Okay, if she really did, because now it's showing that he actually committed an act, but he just has this feeling. Okay, read again. The spirit of jealousy. Read again.
And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled.
Come on.
Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest.
So now the process is that he has this feeling that she may have stepped aside and dealt with somebody else. So he brings his wife before the priest. Okay, come on.
And he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon. For it is an offering of jealousy.
It is what?
An offering of jealousy.
Right, so it's an offering of jealousy. Okay. So now there is a such thing as righteous jealousy. We see that there's an order that the Most High, so we have the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the man, the women, and the children in that order. Okay. Come on.
Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near, and set her before the Most High. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, and the priest shall put it in the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Most High, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of the memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand in the bitter water that causeth the curse.
So there's some type of water that's put in this earthly vessel. I know we went to Israel. We actually bought one of those back. So they put the water in there. Come on.
And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanliness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causes the curse.
So the water that she's about to drink is a bitter water. Come. He just had a feeling. He had this feeling that she's, stepped aside. Maybe she's not acting the same or whatever like that. See, go back to 13. Huh? How does that equate to jealousy? How does the Most High see Israel in relation to him? Hold on. How does the Most High see Israel in relation to him? We are married to the Most High, right? So what did the Most High say? We committed adultery against him, right? So he said he's jealous over us. So he's showing you the relationship. Okay, the Most High gave the woman to man, and we were given to the Most High. Okay, so by us, like I have this book. This book is called Encyclopedia of Gods. Right? There's over 2,500 deities. 25. This is alphabetized from A to Z. There's over 2,500 gods that people worship, but there's only one true living God. So a lot of our people are worshiping all these different gods. Okay, and the Most High said what? He's jealous, right? Give me that and hold that. Give me Exodus 20. Read 20 and 1 down to 5.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Come on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bind thyself to them or serve them. For I, the Most High, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Mm-hmm. And showing mercy unto the thousand.
Read 5 again.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, am a jealous power.
You mean what?
Am a jealous power.
Right, so the Most High said he's a jealous power. Okay? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And a lot of our people, I mean, I go on a lot of these Kemet, these Afro centric YouTube channels, and they have live chats, and I go up there to my God of Israel. Maybe for the God of Israel. I'll be seeing my yeah. It shows up when I just go in there, I just read that. Right, so we provoke the Most High to jealousy by what? By worshiping strange gods. Okay, come on.
With abominations provoked they him to anger.
You did what?
Provoked they him to anger.
Right, we provoke the Most High to anger. Okay, so that's the same thing. Give me Sirach 36 and 20.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24.
Come on.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Read again.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Right, so this is why men and women, we have to be of who we pick to be our spouse. Okay. So again, me and the minister talk all the time. We're trying to rehearse righteous acts. Okay. In a wicked kingdom. It's like trying to mix water and oil together. It don't mix. So we have the blueprint of what to look for. That's why we week in and week out, the ministers the advice, the blueprint, that what should a woman look for in a man, or what should a man look for in a woman. Okay, that you don't wait months later, or you come by, you want to have counsel. Okay, we have the idea. So now, in a situation like that, if the Most High, if now you feel like you bound to this man, and now a year later, 6 months later, whatever you're saying, well, he's no good, but you knew that from the beginning. Now you want us to jump in and be a referee, but you should have followed the instruction the Most High gave us. Okay, so I can see what Moses went through. That's why his father, Lord Jethro, said, "Listen, you need to set up other men to judge matters under you." To the point where Moses himself, lost down the end, because the amount of energy that he put himself judging other matters, left him with little time to deal with his own self. To the point where he questioned Moses. He said, "Do you hate me or something that you have me ruling over these people?" So you got to realize for Aaron to be a high priest and build a golden calf, you got to understand what type of pressure he was under. Okay, if anybody would know better to build a golden calf, wouldn't it have been Aaron, the high priest? Come on. Mm-hmm. Right. 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 But we see this today. We see this today when we got certain like Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, all these people that our people have set up in a position where they don't want to hear about the Most High. Whatever these guys talk about, like, it's the gospel, right? I even have this. This is Farrakhan. This is July 2010, right? The Naked Truth. It says, who are the real children of Israel? Right? So when you turn around, it says, blacks are the true children of Israel. This is coming out of Farrakhan's mouth. So if he's saying that the blacks are the real children of Israel, why is he still talking about Islam? But nobody's caught on to this. So these are the people that are following this guy, to destruction, disregarding the Bible, because a lot of people say, well, the Bible is a white man's book. It was written by King James. He was a white man. Okay, I'm going to read the Quran. But when you read the Quran, it tells you that the children of Israel are God's chosen people. So you can't run away from Israel, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, everything comes full circle back to Israel. Okay, that's why Farrakhan even wrote these two books. Okay, saying that the blacks are the real Jews and Israelites, but there's no money in teaching this truth. If you want to make money, go be a like I was watching a video when with Cameron, and he was saying, because he grew up with Mace, he was saying that Mace said, listen, deacons, they make a lot of money. Okay, how do you go from rap to being a pastor back to rap? Okay, it's a money-making scheme with these people. Scripture say what? That they preach for hire. Okay, so we got to come back. So read Sirach 36:24 again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24.
Come on.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Right. So that is the purpose of having this person joined to you, okay, to be a pillar of rest, to be a helpmate, okay, to build together. So that's why it's very important that we are sure, okay, who we take to be our spouse. Because now you put yourself in a position of, you know, you want to be told the righteous things to do, not the unrighteous. So we got to be mindful. We don't want something, you're going to take a stumbling block in your bosom that's going to prevent you from serving the Most High. So we got to be very careful of that. So let's go back to, now again, we're reading something, now again, reading this 24th verse, that now this woman becomes a possession. Remember again, this is when a woman takes on a righteous man. Again, we are trying to rehearse the righteous acts. That's why we give you the blueprint to tell you to do this thing the right way, that you will have the right outcome. Okay? It's just like making a mistake. You can't continue to make the same mistake expecting a different outcome. So that's why the Most High gave us the Bible, to give us the right things to do, that we get the right outcome. Okay? So let's go back. Go back to Numbers. Come.
The book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 13. And a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept closed, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her.
Right, so there was no, nobody saw what happened. Okay? He just has a feeling. Okay, he just has a spirit of jealousy. Okay, come on.
Neither she be taken with the manner. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance.
Come on.
And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Most High. Mm-hmm. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle. The priest shall take and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Most High, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of a memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causes the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse.
Right, so at this point, he's given a chance to, come clean. Did something really happen? Because once she drinks, they're gonna find out. Okay, come on.
But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Most High make thee a curse, and an oath among thy people. When the Most High doeth make thy thigh to rot, and thy belly to swell.
Right, so some bad things, okay, would happen if this come to pass, that she went aside, okay, and dealt with somebody else. Come on.
And this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels, to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causeth the curse. And the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Most High, and shall offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar. And afterward shall he cause the woman to drink the water. And when he hath made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband, that water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thighs shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. And if the woman be not defiled and be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed.
So now that would be considered a blessing. Like right after, if she drank this water, nothing had happened to her. Okay. So what? The Most High automatically blessed the woman. She was able to conceive. Okay, because now the husband had a jealousy spirit on him, and she was really innocent. So the Most High, how he rewarded her by making her conceive and bear a child. Okay, come on.
This is the law of jealousies.
This is what?
This is the law of jealousies.
Come on.
When a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled.
So read that again.
Verse 29. This is the law of jealousy.
So it said, this is the law of jealousy. I know a lot of people like to twist it around and feel like it's for everybody. Okay, it's for male and female, but it's telling you, read it again.
And this is the law of jealousies.
Come on.
When a wife go aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled.
Come on.
Or when the spirit of jealousy cometh upon him, and he be jealous over his wife.
So in those two instances, when he might have a feeling that she went aside, or she actually did it, in those two instances where the spirit of jealousy comes in. Come on.
And shall set the woman before the Most High and the priest, and shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity.
So it said, then shall a man be guiltless of it from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. All right, so we're reading that it's not unlawful for a man to have this feeling, but it's not like he didn't, like in this time now, if a man had, what do you do, beat upside a woman's head or something like that? No, you just, and what it did was, it was a process. You just brought her before the priest. Okay, you didn't give her a black eye. You didn't chain her to the bed. You didn't set on fire. Like you hear some of these stories, like going to the jail ministry. You hear a lot of stories of brothers. A lot of brothers is locked up for domestic violence or stuff like that. Okay, they had the spirit of jealousy. Okay, but we didn't have this process. What they did, they took matters upon their own hand. But we had a process back then. Okay, that you brought her to the priest. She drank the water. Okay. If she did step aside, then what? It said her legs will rot, and what happened? Her belly would swell. Okay, so this was the process. So the sixth chapter.
The book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Most High.
Right, so this is another thing that the Nazarite vow, a lot of people confuse it. They misinterpret what it means to take a Nazarite vow. So we're gonna read to get the understanding of what it means to take a Nazarite vow. Come on.
And say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Most High, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dry.
So you cannot take a Nazarite vow. You're drinking wine, you're drinking liquor, anything with grapes. Okay, and the vow of a Nazarite is for a certain dispensation of time. You can't take a Nazarite vow forever. Okay, you have to set up a time before. Say, I'm going to do it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 months. Okay, and there's a process that you do at the end of this vow, and we're going to read that. Read.
All the days of his separation.
Right, you see, you say all the days of separation means that you have to have a set time that you set up when you're taking this vow. Read.
Shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk, all the days of the vows of his separation. Mm-hmm. There shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separateth himself unto the Most High.
Hold a minute. Shoot. There was a family that was supposed to be coming. All right. Speak to the sister. See if they was coming today. I forgot her name. Yeah, read that again.
The book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separateth himself unto the Most High. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow.
Right, so we looked up the we got the blue letter definition on the locks. Huh? Well, you want to pull it up, the blue letter locks? So we want to get a understanding of what this is talking about, to make sure that we're not in violation, with the Most High. So it's while he's getting that, you pull it up there. All right, just finish. We'll come back to it. Just keep reading. You pull up on the screen. All right, read 5 again.
Verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the day be fulfilled, in the which he separated himself unto the.
Does it give you a definition? What does it have? It's not really. What else? You took it down?
You know what you can use? You could look up the Lakeisha feeds where you see all people having the braids and the plastic. So you use that as an example.
Right. So we're gonna look into further, but my understanding on locks is different strands of hair braided. I don't know what else he's gonna pull up there, but we'll come back to that. So we're at 6 now.
All the he separates himself unto the Lord. He should come at no dead body. He should not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or for his sister when they die, because of the consecration of his power is upon his head.
Right. So at this point, like if his mother, father, sibling died, he can't even go to the funeral. So this Nazarite vow is something real heavy. You found? Okay, braid, lock, plait of hair. Okay, right. All right, so we got to go into. That's why when you read the beginning of the Bible, it says translate out of original tongue. So a lot of times Esau may put a word in there, but you got to go into the root, the biblical language, and get the true understanding of what it's talking about. All right. So let's read on.
All the days that he separated himself unto the Most High, he should come at no dead body. He should not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother, or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of his power is upon his head. Mm-hmm. All the days of his separation he is holy unto the Most High. For if any man die very suddenly by him, and he hath defiled his head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the seventh day shall he shave it.
Right. So if somebody dropped dead near him, anything like that, he becomes unclean. He got to shave his locks right away. Okay, that's the end of the vow. Okay. Okay. Read on.
And on the 8th day, he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head that same day. And he shall consecrate unto the Most High the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because the separation was defiled.
Right, so there's a process at the end of this vow. You got to cut your locks. Okay, you got to bring an offering before the Most High. So there's different steps of taking the Nazarite vow. Okay, come on.
And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation be fulfilled, he should be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall offer his offering unto the Most High, 1 he-lamb of the first year without blemish, for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish for a peace offerings, and a basket of unleavened bread.
Well, that's a lot of offering. Bring lamb, we gotta bring bread. Okay, unleavened bread. Come on.
Cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meat offering, and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Most High, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offerings. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of the peace offerings unto the Most High, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer and also his meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle. And the congregation and shall take the hair of his head of his separation and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings.
Right, so the congregation is supposed to take his hair and do what? And he's supposed to burn it in fire. Okay, so this is part of the Nazarite vow. This is the process that takes this, and the Most High he gives us play by play, step by step, on all the stuff that has to be done from the beginning all the way to the end. Come on.
And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Most High, with the basket of unleavened bread, and the priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offerings. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle.
What verse here?
18.
Okay.
Of the congregation, and shall take the hair of his head of his separation and put it in the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite. And after the hair of the separation is Salakia, after the hair of his separation is shaven, And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. This is holy for the priest, with the waved breast and heaved shoulder. And after that, Nazarite may drink wine.
So after that, then they can drink wine. Come. No, that's talking about if somebody accidentally died in front of you. This is at the end of the actual vow, but it also tells you if during your vow, if somebody actually died in front of you, that your vow is disannulled. You got to start all over again. So at 9 we were reading if somebody accidentally died by you, then that makes you unclean. You got to cut your locks. Okay, you got to offer it up. But now this is talking about if you fulfill your Nazarite vow, okay, then you wasn't defiled by an unclean body. Okay, come on. Right. Come on.
This is the law of the Nazarite, who hath vowed, and of his offering unto the Most High for his separation. Beside that his hand shall get according to the vow which he vowed. Mm-hmm. So he must do after the law of his separation. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his son, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Most High bless thee, and keep thee. The Most High make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Most High lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace.
Right. So this is the blessing that. Actually, we're gonna do the anointed prayer one. We might as well do it. This was a custom in Israel that the priests that they anointed Israel. So while we in this, we might as well, do the prayer. So we're gonna do the men first, and then the sisters.
I'm gonna finish reading verse 27.
And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
So the brothers line up, and when I come to you, say your name, and then the congregation repeat your name. Come. Slide this over here. Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yashua Yahweh, Ayuwa Yaka, Waya Kanka, Yahweh, Yashua Yahweh, Ayuwa Yaka, Waya Sham, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Amas, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Asap, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Malachi, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Noah, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Caleb, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Aliyah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Lemuel. Like you were straight there. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Aliyah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Shalamaya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa. Shemuel, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Caden, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Courtney, Hebrew name, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Noah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Rick, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Barak Rapa, Shayala, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Sham Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Micah Allah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Bayav Kazak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Manatazak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Amon, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Sadak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Tazia one, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Masha, sisters line up, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Malakaya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapa, Isaiah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Ahabia, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Ashaya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Adiyah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Kamaya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Yaquara, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Rona, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Rihanna, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Leah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Alyssa, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Lavender, Micah Allah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Wendy, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Naomi, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Sapphire, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Deanne, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Kayla, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Maya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Shakira, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Kanaka, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Nazamia, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Chantel, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Arathia, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Yashapa, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Kazak Barak, Hashem, Yashapa, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Shemaya, Shemaya, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Barak Rapha, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Barak Rapha, Kahan, Kahan, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Barak Rapha. This is the name of Florent. Florent.
Oh, I said
Florent. Florent. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapha, Barak Rapha, Yeshua. Hallelujah. Shout this year. So like I keep reminding people to say your name. Sometimes I get a brain freeze when I'm doing anointing, but that's why I say your name when we come up here. All right, so this is imagine Moses and Aaron, they did this with much more people than this. So it was, the custom that we did in Israel that read it again, 6:22.
The book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 22. And the Moses spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Most High bless thee and keep thee. The Most High make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. And the Most High lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Right, so, we want everyone here to claim this blessing on the Shabbat day. Okay, you claim the blessing, put this name of Israel on you, that you're an Israelite 7 days a week, 365 days in a year is not only in the Shabbat day. Okay, because putting Mosai put his name on you means that you're an Israelite 7 days a week. Okay, this is not a religion. Again, it's not a religion. This is a culture, a way of life. It's an identity. It's an identity that we took back. Okay. I have my book. I don't see what happened to it. Okay. The invention of Jewish people. So we understand that the Jewish people, their name was made up. Okay, their whole culture was something that was man-made. Okay, this is our true identity. That's why the Bible says, what advantage didn't have a Jew? It's an advantage of taking back your true identity. But with having that identity, again, making your election sure. Okay, there's no sense in saying you're Israelite and you're not making this birthright work for you. Okay, there should things be happening in your life that's unexplainable. That, when things happen to you, that it only has to be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that has showed you favor. Okay, that's an advantage of being a Jew. That you're showed favor at all times, that the Most High has mercy upon you and your household. Okay, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, but the kingdom of heaven, okay, it's up to you whether you want it or not. Okay, you have the necessary tools. You have the invitation. The Most High called you into this glorious life. But what are you going to do with that? Are you going to make that calling sure by rehearsing His righteous acts? Okay, by loving your brother and sister as you love yourself. Okay, wanting more for your brother and sister than you actually want for yourself. A lot of our people have that me type of spirit. What's that in one for one of your brothers that you say? What's that in the no, it's finish reading. Go back to So we're actually in the 7th chapter of Numbers. All right, the scripture I'm looking for is Philippians 2 and 3. Right. So above all attributes, above all things that the Most High, the characteristics of the Mashiach Yahushua, what is the Most High esteemed to be at the top of the list? Charity. Right? The Most High esteems charity at the top of the list above all things. Okay, so charity comes in many different, a lot of people think that charity only deals with money. Charity is not only money. Charity is a lot of things. It could be your time. Okay. You got that? Okay. So it can be anything that is helpful to somebody else. Okay. Read that.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 3.
Come on.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
That be what?
That ye be like-minded.
Right.
Having the same love.
Having what?
Having the same love.
Right. Having the same love. Okay. That is not a one-sided thing that you love your brother, sister as you love yourself. Read it again.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 3. Salakia, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy.
Well, start from 1.
Verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in a Mashiach, of any comfort of love, of any fellowship of the Spirit, of any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
Right, that we got to be like-minded in the what? The spirit of love. Come on.
Having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
Of what?
Of one mind.
Come on.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Right, so this is not about competition. Okay? Like you see on YouTube, you see all these different camps. Ultimately, that what? We're one nation. Okay? Ultimately, we're one nation. You might see different camps. This camp's calling itself this name, that name. But ultimately, we're drawn to one nation. The Most High is going to draw out from each camp, okay, who he deems he have mercy on to make it to the kingdom. There's not just one camp that's going to make it to the kingdom. Okay, if any camp is teaching that they're the only camp that's going to make it to the kingdom, they're a liar. Okay, read that again.
Verse 2. The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 2.
Come on.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
Come on.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Right, so not through competition or, vainglory, trying to compete or anything like that. Some people looking for a name. Okay, like I'm watching these people in the Kemet, a lot of these people on YouTube, a lot of them, doing this thing for money. We honestly are out there for our people's souls to come back to the Most High. Okay? That we are the ones that sign cry, all the abomination being done out there Because there's a lot of injustices being done in society, but who's really speaking up? Hold that. Give me Psalm 94:16. Okay, the Hebrew Israelites are the only ones standing strong. Okay, out there in the forefront, in the highways and the byways that are talking about the injustices that are being done in the society. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16.
Come on.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
So that's a question the Most High is asking. Come on.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Right, so iniquity, sin is something strong amongst the nation as well. Because in this society does not encourage you to keep the commandments. This society encourages you to do what? To break the commandments. Okay? You see a lot of people say, well, the Most High knows my heart. That's the excuse they use. Or I got to work. Okay, would they ever ask a Jewish person to work on the Sabbath? No, because they know what? A lawsuit is coming right behind. So why are we scared to get off on the Sabbath? That's right. The ones that the law was actually given to. Okay, the law is given to us, but we're scared to keep this commandment. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16.
Come on.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Right.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Most High had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence.
Right, because we're like a needle in a haystack. Right, we are the remnant that the Most High is going to save in these last days. Because the majority of the people in the society, they love sin. So the Most High has got to bring judgment in these last days. Okay, it said in Isaiah 1:9, it said, except the Lord of hosts had a remnant, that we would be as what? Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so we have the children coming in, and these are actual children's book that they have in these schools. Why do I have two mommies? Okay, so they're actually teaching. That's why when your children come over to school, you got to actually go over, because they sent me home something. Actually, we're close with our daughter's teacher, so she'll give me stuff that you have to opt out, because now they're teaching children about same-sex marriage and all this stuff like that. So you got to be involved in your children's education if you're not homeschooling your children. A lot of people are starting to do that, homeschool your children. But if your children do attend these public schools, this is what they're teaching now. Okay, Heather has two mommies. Okay, these are the things that they're teaching in the education systems. So the Most High has to send his son to destroy America before it's too late. But understand that our salvation is nearer than we believe. That all you have to do is just hold on and endure. Because the scriptures say those that endure to the end, what? The same shall be saved. The race is not for the swift, but what? But those who can endure. So don't try to pace yourself with somebody else. Somebody else may be running at their speed. Okay, take the race at your speed. But the ultimate plan is to do what? Is to complete the race. Because you ever watch those marathons? Somebody come in first place, right? But somebody may not finish until what? The next day. But what happened? They still completed it, because there's some that don't complete it. So in our story, there's what? You have the 2/3 and you have the 1/3. So 2/3 of our people are not going to make it. So we pray that all of us here are part of that 1/3, that the Most High is going to have mercy and bring through the lake of fire. All right. So let's go back to Philippians. You finished that? Right.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord.
Being of what?
Of one accord.
Right, so it's very important that we have one accord, okay? The Most High, the Mashiach and Hawashai, and these commandments. Come on.
Of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind. Let each esteem other better than themselves.
Right, so you esteem someone else more than yourself. Okay? Are you willing to take the shirt off your back to give to your brother? These are the things that the Most High, okay, the Mashiach Yahushua as an example came to show us, okay, in the flesh. That was the purpose of Yahushua, to come in the flesh to show you that these things, a lot of things that we make excuses for that we can't do, okay, Yahushua shows that we can do these things in the flesh. That was his purpose. And to die to bring us back to the Most High. Come on.
Look not every man on his own things.
Right. Don't look only for your own things. Come on.
But every man also of the things of others.
Read that again.
Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Right. So it says it's better to give than to receive. But then there's also a flip side. You have, some people that are users as well. We got to be mindful of that. Okay. But ultimately is what? It's better to give than to receive. We do understand that sometimes people are in a situation, okay, that they're in a situation where they are less fortunate. They may need help. And we understand that. But then you have some people that may have a pockets of money and still won't give, still looking to get what you have. We understand that there's people out there like that as well. All right. So we got to do what? We got to try the spirit by the spirit. Okay, come on.
Let this mind be in you, which was also in a Mashiach Yahushua.
Right. All right. So ultimately we are getting the mind frame of Yahushua, which he's in the mind frame of the Most High. Come. What's that? Now read that. So I want to welcome the family that just came in. Hallelujah. Thanks for coming commune with the Delight of Zion. So, we're always looking for, the family to grow. And, I'm a nationalist. The Most High is going to bring, different brothers and sisters, families from all over, okay, ultimately to share this battle in these last days, to lean upon each other, okay, because it's going to be something where we're going to need each other in these last days. Okay, we're going to need each other. So the Most High, what he said in the scripture, said, like-minded spirits are going to cleave together in these last days, and we see it. Okay, because the enemy, he's not hiding anymore. He's making himself known. Okay, when a president of the United States can make such statements as he can, and it's allowed, okay, then we know that the time is near. Okay, read that.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 3.
Come on.
Remember them that are in bonds, has bond with them. Verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Right, so, that's important, because angels can appear in any form. You don't know. I mean, there's been times that I've seen a person show up at camp and just disappear. It's like, you don't know where they go, but you question their existence or who they are, and I've seen like different brothers deal with certain people at camp. Okay, but we have to learn how to deal with our people, differently, and also the other nations. Okay, just like I ran to that couple, a lot of these nations, they were miseducated just like us. Okay, the Jewish people, they were taught they were Jewish from the womb. They came out of the womb, they taught they were Jewish. It's not their fault that they were lied to by their rabbi. But we are going to show them that you were lied to. Okay, that we are taking back our true identity. Okay, we're no longer going to be called a byword and a proverb. We're not going to accept that anymore. Because why? There is an advantage of being a Jew. Okay, so let's go back to Numbers. So we're in Numbers, the 7th chapter.
Go ahead.
Come on.
The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 1. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had appointed it and sanctified it.
Read it again.
Verse 1. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had appointed it,
anointed it,
and sanctified it, and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them, that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Most High, 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Moses spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon according to their service.
So now we look at the priest must have been overwhelmed with all these things that we had to do, right? But now what do we offer up today? We offer about give me Romans 12 and 1. So even coming today in the Shabbat, like we have sisters and brothers, we have, coming from West Palm Beach, coming from Miami, coming far, just this is sacrifice, okay, just to be here today, okay, to observe the Most High's holy day, the Shabbat day. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies.
You do what?
Present your bodies.
Right, that we present our bodies, come on.
A living sacrifice.
A what?
A living sacrifice.
So that we present our bodies, okay, a living sacrifice, come on.
Holy.
Do what?
Holy. Acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Right, that's our reasonable service. That all the Most High has done for us, right? It's our reasonable service that we do what? That we present our bodies a living sacrifice. Okay, that we put away things that we want to do, okay, that we've done in the past, or we may want to do something, but we know that we got to sacrifice. Like we have the prison ministry. Okay, this yesterday or Thursday, I promised some of the brothers, when they have a court date, that I would go and show up and show moral support. So one of the brothers, he was convinced that he was going home, but when I went to court, the judge was like, you're going to be here for a little while. So some of these guys have serious charges, but you may commit a crime and it may be one charge, but within their technical penal codes, you can get like 10 charges from doing one thing. So you may just think you're doing one thing, but they, like say you crossing across county lines, that's a charge for that. If you had something, if you kidnapped somebody or somebody took against their will, you're going across the line, taking against their will. So there's so many charges that you can get. So what the judge was explaining, even though it was his first offense, he accumulated so many, they have a point system. So he has so many points, so he wasn't even allowed to get bail. But I go there, I see them in the court. They're there drinking coffee, drinking their lattes. They're there giggling. The prosecutors, the attorneys, they're there having a good time. And you come up there 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. The guys they're the only one that's not smiling in the court. But I mean, this is a cycle. And who do you see mainly up? Public defenders, which are also working for the prosecutor, the government. Okay. So you're not really getting any true representation when you're with these people. Okay, come on, read.
The book of Numbers. Man, according to
presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice, that's a reasonable service. That's the least that we can do for all the Most High has done for us. Okay, feeding the needy, the homeless, the those that are in disparity amongst our people. Okay, come on.
Verse 7. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service, and 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari, according unto their service under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed.
Come on.
Even the princes offered their offering before the altar. And the Most High said unto Moses,
What verse you?
Verse 11. The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 11. And the Most High said unto Moses, they shall offer their offering, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold, full of incense.
So we see that this is like pretty tedious. The measurements, what had to be sacrificed, okay, the measurements, what the priest was responsible for. It was a lot of work. All right, come on.
1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, prince of Issachar, did offer. He offered his offering, 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. And on the third day, Eliab, the son of Helon, prince of the children of Zebulun, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them are full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab, the son of Helon. On the 4th day, Eliezer, the son of Shedar, the prince of Reuben, of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels.
So what we're seeing, that you had someone that represented each tribe, okay, to bring forth their offerings. Okay, so who was the first tribe to offer? Yehoiada. All right, come on.
Verse 31. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offerings. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliezer, the son of Shadur. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, the prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels. After the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil, for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. The 6th day was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, the prince of the children of Gad, offered his offering with 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekel, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering.
Right.
1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. And on the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil, for a meat offering.
So we understand that there was a set offering that they had to come in an offer. You just couldn't come and offer whatever you wanted to offer, and it had to be precise of the measurement that you brought forth. Okay, come on.
1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings. 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was of the weight of 130 shekels of 1 silver bowl. Salakia. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels. And after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. And on the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, prince of the children of Benjamin, offered his offering. 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil, for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. And on the 10th day, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. His offering was 1 silver of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and first of the first year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And on the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Akron, the prince of the children of Asher, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, 130 shekels per bowl after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil. For a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels.
So what we're reading, they're all repeating the same offering, okay? But it shows you that when we read earlier that everybody's in one mind, okay? That we're in one accord. Somebody just will bring less. I'm going to bring less than that person brought. So all the person that represented their tribe, they brought the same thing. This is the requirement of this offering that they had to bring before the priest. All right, come on.
Verse 74. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram for the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Akron. On the 12th day, Ahira, the son of Enan, prince of the children of Naphtali, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. Verse 84. This was the dedication of the altar in the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel. 12 charges of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold, each charger of silver weighing 130 shekels, each bowl 70, and all their silver vessels weighed 2,400 shekels.
So now it's giving you the sum. First they listed them each by tribe. Now is giving you the summation of all that was collected amongst all the tribes that brought forth. Come on.
After the shekel of the sanctuary, the golden spoons were 12 full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece. After the shekel of the sanctuary, all the gold of the spoon was 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12.
So do you see how important the number 12 is? Okay, the 12 tribes of Israel, everything was based around the number 12. Okay, come on.
And all the oxen for the burnt offering were 12. So all the oxen for burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with their meat offering, and the kids of the goats for the sin offering 12. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 20 and 4 bullocks, the rams 60, the he-goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar. After that, it was anointed. And when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of the testimony, from between the 2 cherubims, and he spake unto him.
Right, so going to the tabernacle, there's only certain, the high priest that can go into the Holy of Holies. That is just not for anybody to go, okay, in the Holy of Holies. So like I said, each priest had a different position, okay, the different services within the tabernacle, within the ministry, within the congregation. All right, so, it will behoove you to see what is the gift that the Most High gave you to fulfill, okay, in the congregation. Everybody has a gift. It's not for you to envy what somebody else is doing, but to really go within yourself and see what is the gift that the Most High bless you with, right? That the Most High may be glorified, which is in heaven, that he can be seen among men, okay, and women, that the Most High Spirit dwells within you. All right, so that ends the Torah portion for today. All right, get the Most High here. right, so it's 3:00. You know, we're gonna take our half an hour break, but before we go, Tyson, want to put up the Oswald Park on the screen, so we know tomorrow we are going to be observing the Feast of Weeks, okay, at Oswald Park. So we're going to put on the screen what which booth is it? Number 2. Okay, so it's going to be booth number 2. Booth number 2. That's where we're going to be at Oswald Park. So we're going to be there. You know, the soldiers' officers, you know, you got to get there early, help get things set up. Uh, 2220 Northwest 21st Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. This is off of 21st Avenue. All right. And I don't know if it's going to be out there early, but it's booth number 2. That's where we'll be, and it's right, you know, it's right next to the restroom, so it's conveniently located next to the restroom. You know, for the children, they got they're going to all time, so-called Father's Day, and you know, it might be different spirits out there. Maybe they might be intoxicated, whatever. We don't know, but you know, we're going to be in our P's and Q's. But you know, ultimately, we're going to set up the prayer. Everybody, by 12 noon, the latest, that we can set up the noon prayer. Con, we want to send the noon prayer. We want everybody there. Can send the prayer in unison, so we want everybody by 12 noon the latest. All right? So this is where it's going to be held, Oswald Park. You know, we welcome all to attend, and we look forward to seeing everybody there. All right, so we're going to take the break. It's 3:00. We'll be back at 3. Hello, yeah?